trashy winner, forgettable plot, and a disappointing finale. That's how most people describe the new season. But is it really a flop? Today, I'm gonna talk about the good and the bad of Disventure Camp Carnival of Chaos. Let's start with the bad. Emotional overload. This tends to become a general problem of the series. The creators try to add too much emotional depth too early into the season. Just take a look at the cast. Anastasia was kicked out of her country for being lesbian. Hannah lost both of her parents. Benji was considered a failure by his parents. Linda was called a bitch by her own son, and the list goes on. Everybody has a sad story. But when everyone has a sad story, no one has a sad story. It gets to the point where it's so repetitive, you don't really feel anything for the characters. Now, don't get me wrong, we all have traumas and personal problems, but we talk about them with the right people, at the right moment. Take Miriam, for example. When season 1 started, we all thought that she was just a grumpy old lady, but then we found out the reason behind her rude attitude.
Apparently, a drunk driver hit their car. A head collision. No survivors.
And we saw her change. That plot twist felt so refreshing compared to other series and made Miriam the most loved winner of Disventure Camp. But if you try to recreate the story for every character, it won't have the same impact. The creators also tend to uselessly add emotional moments in random parts of the storyline. Why do we need to see this emotional moment between Zaid and Ivy in the final? After this moment, they didn't break up and they didn't become closer either. It was pointless. Imbalance of power. The first thing I want to bring up here is the Girls' Alliance. This alliance alone managed to eliminate 5 out of the 8 male contestants and some female contestants as well. For something that started in episode 2, it was pretty damn powerful. If there were no betrayals among them, the girls would have wiped all the boys out of the game. But this is not the only imbalance I want to talk about. In episode 16, we had 3 boys and 5 girls, a big voting advantage for the girls. So most of the fans thought that the creators would bring back 2 boys to level down the field. But instead, we got Amelie and Marissa, who of course joined the Girls' Alliance in the next episode, when the girls dominate the whole season. But then a boy wins, of course it feels unearned. Either make Jade win, or also give the boys some power. Predictable writing. If you can predict how things will turn out, what's the point of watching the series? 1 month ago, I predicted that Anastasia will be in the next season. 6 months ago, I predicted that Logan would be the winner of this season. And 1 year ago, I predicted that Jade would get in the finale. How? Jade was the most iconic and intelligent character, so I figured the creators would want her in the competition as long as possible. Logan was a safe pick. After 2 girl winners and just 1 boy winner, the creators had to level up the field. But they had to do that in a way that would have kept everybody happy. Since Total Drama managed to do something like that with Wayne, they tried doing something similar with their Wayne. Unfortunately, Logan wasn't nearly as loved as him. And Anastasia? She was a powerhouse. In these types of series, skilled players don't usually win in their debut season, but I also want to talk about the predictability of the interactions. Take Anastasia and Marissa, for example. They were both strong and got along in the first seconds of the interaction. Everybody knew that they were about to make out at some point or another. This would have been a great spot for drama. Maybe something similar to what Gwen and Trent had to go through in TDI 2007. Wasted potential. In my opinion, one of the most wasted characters is Ted. He could have been a great antagonist, especially considering his poker experience, a game that is based on reading other people's intentions and emotions without letting them read yours. Another wasted character is Anastasia. Strong, smart, and strategic. She was basically Julia with a Russian accent. At some point, she was my favorite contestant, but then she turned all aggressive, paranoid, and even easy to manipulate. Another case is Diego. He basically wasted his time in the competition harassing Spencer.
Oh, shy boy. Too nervous to do that around me. Adorable.
Undeserved success. Of course, in this part, I have to begin with Logan. He was by far the biggest flipper in this season. Now, hear me out. It's normal to have betrayals and stuff like that during a competition. But please, if you decide to betray half of your alliances, don't just make a puppy face and pretend you're sorry. It's just hypocrisy. That's probably why so many fans started to hate him and rated the finale as the worst episode of the season on IMDb.
My mother never loved me, and I know her life would be much better if I never existed. She's told me she thinks I'm a monster. I know she's right, but it still hurts to hear.
But besides Logan, there are two more players that didn't feel deserving to get so far. First, we have Anastasia. Now, considering what I've just said earlier, it might look like I'm contradicting myself, but hear me out. We all like the fact that she was a strong player, but sometimes she was too strong. At some point, Trevor's voice actor himself mentioned how ridiculous her strength is.
Logan is dead too. Hi. Oh.
Gotcha.
How? Literally how? This is so impossible.
And then there's Spencer, one of my favorite characters from this season. His accent was perfect for his role.
Gotta say, Anastasia, I thought you were breaking the mold of what people expected of models. Fragile, shallow, stupid.
And his brief time as a villain was so entertaining yet so unrealistic, because after the merge, every other player hated him. Yet instead of being eliminated, somehow he managed to resist up until episode 18, Plot Armor. But now, let's talk about the good parts of the season. Character choice. First, there's the big trio, Zaid, Ivy, and Tristan. There was no need for excessively long scenes or emotional backstory exchange to make them fit together. Although short, their chemistry felt natural. Now, besides this trio, we also got this trio. These three older players added a fresh touch to the story. Ted was interesting to have around. Richard was an emotional support for everyone in the competition, while Linda managed to add drama and controversy without making the storyline feel forced. Besides them, there's also Natalia. She was charismatic, never got too emotional, and was full of funny remarks.
Hello, gorgeous. Dude! That's a dude! Just picture he's Alessio.
One of the most entertaining contestants alongside Benji.
Hey, party peeps. Anyone notice how gross Spencer is?
Character arcs. After Tristan left the competition, Zaid and Ivy's connection grew even more. They're arguably the best, healthiest straight couple in the entire series. Linda managed to transform an attitude like this.
Sorry, husband?
Yes, ma'am. Is that a problem?
No, it's just, I hope your daughter is okay.
To this.
I'm sorry, Richard. Oh, I was rude to comment on your family. I hope you can forgive me.
Alessio went from a weird painter to a smart and insightful person in just 2 episodes. Hannah helped Amelie enjoy life more, while Amelie helped Hannah to become more competitive, and Diego eventually got over Spencer. Challenges. Compared to the last 3 seasons, these challenges felt like a big improvement, especially because of the new theme that was added. Among my favorites are the Truth or Dare challenge, the Hunters and Prey, the Maze, the Returnee challenge, the one with the big robot, and the auction. Quality. I think that the sound quality of this season is unmatched by any other Disventure Camp season. The music choice, especially in high-stake moments like the finale, was perfect. But besides the soundtrack music, we also got 3 new amazing songs. So amazing that the 6th episode landed in the top 3 best rated episodes of the season, having the same score as the semifinals. But besides the sound improvement, this season also got visual improvements. The beauty of the designs, the smoothness of the animation, and the fact that we now have front face animation puts Disventure Camp Season 4 at total drama animation level. Yet there's just one problem. Why the hell would they make the characters swim like that? I mean, half of their body stands above the water. It's like they're swimming in syrup. Aftermath. Although the winner was disappointing, the creators managed to save the season with great character endings. Zaid and Ivy, Tristan and Benji, Anastasia and Marissa, all these couples got their happy ending. Even Derek and Trevor, who are now getting married and retiring from the business. Besides the couples, we also see most of the cast remaining friends, especially Ted, Linda, and Richard, who decided to go on a cruise ship together with their families.
Yeah, and it better have bingo.
Overall, I love Disventure Camp, but this season unfortunately felt like a step back compared to All Stars, which some people consider a step back from the total drama All Stars. Click here if you want to find out which is the better season.